Okay, so what's up, guys? This is Akshay here. Let us see the today's question. Today's question name is modified game of NIM. Let us read the question. We have been given an array of n elements. There are two players, player 1 and 2. Player can choose any element from any array, remove it, and if the bitwise OR of the remaining elements becomes 0 after removal of the selected element, then the player loses. Okay. So find out the winner if the player 1 starts the game. ठीक है. तो इस क्वेश्चन को कैसे कर सकते हैं? इस क्वेश्चन को करने के सबसे पहला ब्रूट फोर्स तो यही होगा कि आप सारे पॉसिबल कॉम्बिनेशन कर लो, राइट? दैट प्लेयर वंस कम्स एंड ही स्टार्ट पिकिंग ईच एंड एवरी कॉम्बिनेशन, या वो 2 उठा दे या फिर 3 या फिर दिस 3, राइट? So this would form give you a very recursive solution, right? Considering each and every possible options, that would be a very great in time complexity. So since you can see there's a bitwise OR and expected is also set as O of n, so maybe we can think of some pattern here, right? Maybe we can form some of the possible cases and then we can think through. Okay, so first let us understand the input and output of the given test case and then we can think of the possible dry runs. So the given number is 3, 3 and 2, and what it is saying is that the optimal, okay, the player 1 comes, right? And if he removes 3, right, or let's say if he removes this 2, then definitely the resultant will give you the 0 because the elements are same and the XOR of same elements is 0, right? So definitely he will not pick up this case. He will not pick up this case, so that it will pick one of these two threes, so that the resultant of XOR should not be equals to 0, and that's why he would not lose for this chance, right? So he will look for such element which will not make the resultant XOR of the remaining elements equals to 0. So that is why it is said that player 1 comes and 3 would be picked up, then again player 2 will come, right? And again इन दोनों में से अगर ये कोई भी उठाएगा तो रिजल्टेंट तो नॉट इक्वल टू 0 ही होगा बिकॉज द एलिमेंट्स आर नॉट सेम. सो लेट्स से इट takes this element p2 and then p1 again comes and the only remaining element was 2 and he picked it and the array become empty now. So the resultant XOR is again 0 and player 2 wins, and that is why 2 is the given answer, right? ठीक है. तो observations, first observation is that if the elements are containing the elements if the array is containing an elements like one sec. So if all the elements are, let's say the elements are repeated in even number of times, let's say 2 2 3 3 and then 4 times, let's say 4, right? Then the resultant, the resultant XOR of all the elements would be 0. So there goes our first case. So if player 1 will come, it will see that the resultant of the all the elements is already 0, right? So I will just say that if XOR of all elements equals to, that will be your first case. Then you have to return 1, player 1 wins. Second case, you can see like the elements are there and the XOR is not equals to 0. So let us start the dry run with the smallest test case. So for n equals to 1, what will happen? For n equals to 1, only single element would be there and p1 will come, and it has to pick up this element, right? And you can clearly see then the p2 will come and it will say that this element is already picked, the array is empty, and the resultant XOR is 0. So for n equals to 1, the answer would be 2. Player 2 wins. For n equals to 2, again the resultant should not be 0. In that manner we have to pick some elements. So let's say 1 and 2. So p1 will come again, right, and it will pick one of the element, right, and the remaining elements would be 2. So again p2 will come and it will pick the remaining 2 and then it comes 0, right? Okay. So when the next time will p1 come, it will say that the resultant or the array has been empty and resultant is 0. So here player 1 will win. Now let us take a third case. So for n equals to 3, let us consider the elements as 3, 3 and let's say 2, right? So what is the case here? You can clearly see that p1 will come and it will take choose element in such a manner the resultant will not be 0. So definitely p1 will have to choose one of the 3, right? So 3 is gone now again. So and can you see that this case is now the case which we have solved here for n equals to 2, right? So for n equals to 2, we started for p1 and 1 was the answer, right? In this case the second chance is given to 2, and since we have started from 2, then the answer would be 1 or 2. So for n equals to 2, the game started by player 1 and 1 was the winner. So here in this remaining two elements, the chance is given to 2 and the winner will also be the same element, same person, that is 2 again. So let us one visualize for one last case, that is for n equals to 2, and then maybe we can see the pattern. So for n equals to 4, let's say you have some bunch of elements, let's say uh, I, J, K, and L, right? Or yep, let us like, or let's say you take it like this: 4, 3, 3, and 2, right? So again, what will happen? P1 will come and will take the first value, resulting that m and n of ZOR, the ZOR of m n and o should not be equals to 0, right? And can you see now that this is been your case where n equals to 3 was handled, that is this case, right? So what happened in this case? So we started from player 1 and we saw the answer was player 2. So here the chance would be given to player 2, right, for these three elements, and the answer is reverse. So 1 and 2, so 2 here, player 1 will uh, win. Now can you see the pattern? If there is an odd number of element, then what is happening? That 2 is the winner, and if it is even number of element, then always 1 is the winner, right? So try to maybe run some more of the test cases, and then once you are finally satisfied with the pattern, then you can go ahead and code the solution in your code editor. Let us see the Java solution here. So first of all, that's what we have handled. Finding the ZOR of all the elements. If the ZOR is 0, definitely player 1 will be winner. He came to choose the element, but already the ZOR was 0, and player 1 wins. If that's not the case, if it is even, then 1 is the winner and else it's 2. That is it. What is the time and space complexity here? O of n as time and O of 1 as space complexity. Great. Great, that's been done. So you can code this approach in C++ as well. So let us meet again in the tomorrow's video street. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. Bye bye, and take care. And if you like the solution, the problem statement, and you have understood the problem as well, then do like, share, and subscribe. And let us meet again in the next video.